Welcome back to another episode of your Digital Hustle News. As always, I'm Wade Teamer. Our first story centers around Circle's integration onto the Avalanche blockchain. Guys, I said on Twitter when this news first broke out that I think it might be time to start paying attention to Avalanche. All year we have been watching Circle's ascension in the stablecoin market, paying particular attention to the select blockchains that it decides to partner with. Now, they've chosen Avalanche. Let's find out why. It states that this integration will take place on Avalanche's C chain. After integration, users will be able to mint and redeem USDC tokens directly on the Avalanche blockchain. Now, USDC is one of the most widely used stablecoin on Avalanche, with over 1.3 billion in circulation recorded on the day of this report. Now, for those who don't know, Avalanche is an Ethereum virtual machine compatible smart contract blockchain capable of high throughput transactions with net zero carbon emissions. Its token, Avalanche, is the 12th largest right now with a market cap of over 19 billion at time of recording. Now, we know it's been a tough year for Ethereum. Many developers have migrated due to the high gas fees. Avalanche was one of those blockchains that benefited the most from this exodus, as its DeFi ecosystem now sits at around $11.5 billion. Now, quickly, we need to update ourselves on the current roster for USDC. Of course, we have Ethereum, Algorand, Solana, Stellar, Tron, Hedera, and now Avalanche, guys. You'll notice though, we did not see Tezos on this list. We found out back in June that an integration would be arriving in the coming months. Unfortunately, as we close the year, it doesn't look like we'll get that. However, 2022 might be a different story, especially now that Taurus Platform has extended support for any Tezos smart contract, guys. Taurus SA, coming to us out of Geneva, Switzerland, specializes in digital asset issuance and blockchain technology. They have now fully integrated Tezos smart contracts. This will allow banks and issuers to issue, book, and service any tokenized asset on the Tezos blockchain, guys. More specifically, it will allow clients to issue and interact with any Tezos smart contract function in a fully automated way without custom development. Now, this Taurus platform, guys, has quite the strong ecosystem consisting of core banking partners, cloud providers, and members of academia. We're talking Microsoft, Google, Amazon Web Services, IBM. And as you can see right here under their associations and programs is the almighty MasterCard, guys. So, provided everything goes well, this hopefully will increase the total value locked on Tezos' ecosystem, which currently sits right now at $100 million. Now, let's spin the globe a bit and go down to Australia, as Crypto.com has chosen to set up a brand new headquarters in Melbourne, guys. Now, this story is interesting for a number of reasons, mainly because the digital landscape out there right now is very intense. Now, according to a press release from the Minister of Economic Development, Crypto.com has chosen Melbourne, Victoria for its Australian headquarters. This move comes after Australian Treasury recently announced it would begin to implement crypto regulation. Now, let me remind you guys, Crypto.com has compliancy with the highest organization in the world in the form of ISO. So their move here has to be strategic in nature. And again, Australia is becoming a digital innovation hub. Victoria's tech sector contributes more than $38 billion to the state's economy. Obviously, if they continue on this path, that number could increase dramatically over the next couple of years, guys. Now, we're going to turn our attention to Asia and talk about Hedera Hashgraph. Guys, we got some interesting tokenization news to talk about. Now, in collaboration with Hex Trust and others, they've successfully completed one of Asia's first tokenizations of private debt on Hedera's public ledger, guys. It states that Toko issued the digital private debt on Hedera's Hashgraph, along with Hex Trust, DLA Piper, and Calcite, to carry out a tokenized fixed income asset issuance to finance the acquisition and development of a calcium carbonate quarry in Europe. So, very interesting real life usage here. It states that with Hex Trust fully integrated custody solution and the efficiencies of Hedera Hashgraph, they have brought together the best of four worlds to make tokenized fixed income issuance and asset management cheaper, faster, and easier, guys. It goes on to state that this tokenization is intended to cover full value chain of a fixed income token. That simply means the whole process from issuance and distribution to token OTC transfers or over the counter and ongoing asset servicing concepts such as custody, coupon distribution until debt maturity and token redemption. So, again, throughout the whole process. And really quick, coupon distribution, Hedera just launched a dApp in that similar field. So, again, with stories like these, guys, I always like to remind people of how Hedera's blockchain works. It's simply a time signature based ledger system, which is perfect for this type of endeavor. Next up, we got Stellar Lumens, guys, and they're working with the Ukraine for, again, tokenized forms of money. This one, it's massive, guys. Now, right away, we learn that this new pilot involves Tascam Bank with its employees of the government organization DIA. They will receive their salaries with programmable money. This programmable money will also be able to be used for peer to peer and retail payments. It goes on to say that the National Bank of Ukraine is supervising the project and has an existing contract to use Stellar's blockchain for a digital dollar or CBDC. The pilot will be deployed using BIT, which is a digital currency management system under Stellar Lumens, the same digital currency manager that has already worked in Nigeria, the Caribbean, and Belize for digital currency projects. Now, there was no mention directly of a wholesale CBDC. However, it does make sense that a commercial bank would be more likely to use the same network, making a future retail CBDC compatible. Now, remember, guys, National Bank of Ukraine is a central bank under the rules of the Bank for International Settlements. Ukraine, along with France, Switzerland, Australia, and Austria, are actively pursuing CBDC projects under BIS guidance. Lastly, I have a bit of speculation for you guys in the form of Lockheed Martin and IOTX. The headline says Lockheed, Ericsson, and Bosch come together for blockchain identity standards for the IoT sector. But right in the first paragraph, guys, we discovered that there are more people at this party than we first thought. It states the IEEE Standards Association is developing a new identity of things standard that will apply to blockchain decentralized identity to the IoT space. This new standard is being developed by Lockheed Martin, Ericsson, Lenovo, Huawei, Bosch, and IOTX. Love how they just slipped that in at the end there. But for those who don't know, IoT refers to sensors and smart devices that can use the internet to communicate data. An example of this would be self driving cars with the ability to communicate to each other and other roadside sensors. Now, this is a very far end technology, but there's one big issue. Much like it's hard to communicate with somebody who doesn't speak the same language as you, it's hard for these devices to communicate with others without a standard means of communication or a way to exchange information around identity. So essentially, the goal is to have a standard for IoT devices to communicate identity data. Now, In a quote from co-chair of the IEE blockchain initiative, he makes a very important statement. He says, in the blockchain space, lack of interoperability is a technical barrier. There are many blockchains, and the way devices are connected to blockchains to enable decentralized machine to machine communications should follow a universal standard. So, we have Lockheed Martin, one of the biggest government contractors I've ever known, working with a number of companies, including IOTX, on global IoT identity standards. It's really starting to look like decentralized identities are going to be a very big talking point in 2022. If you found value in this video, you know what to do. Hit the like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so that you never miss another one. Also, if you're new to crypto, Abra, Crypto.com, FTX, and Coinbase links are in the description. And as always, guys, before we leave every video, you know I want you to have a great day, have a prosperous day. Most importantly, we making this money. I'll see y'all in the next one.